Every morning, the sun rose slowly over the small town of Oak Ridge, casting warm golden rays over the bustling streets. Among the early risers was Lisa Adams, a dedicated cashier at the local grocery store. Her mornings were a ritual of quick cups of coffee and hurried walks to the store, where she spent long hours behind a cash register, always with a smile, even when the days were tough. Lisa's life wasn't easy. She lived paycheck to paycheck, barely scraping by to cover her rent, keep her bills paid, and afford basic necessities. Despite her struggles, Lisa carried a heart of gold, a heart that found joy in giving, no matter how little she had. Every day, she tucked away a small portion of her earnings to buy a loaf of bread for someone who had captured her attention, a young white boy who always sat on the corner just outside the store. His clothes were tattered, his hair unkempt, and his eyes pale blue and filled with a weariness far beyond his years. Always scanned the busy streets with a quiet hope. Lisa didn't know his name or his story, but every morning before her shift, she'd stop by the bakery section, pick up a fresh loaf of bread, and hand it to him with a warm smile. "Here you go, sweetie. Make sure you eat today," she'd say, her voice filled with a gentle kindness. "Thank you, ma'am," he'd reply, clutching the bread tightly as though it were a lifeline. His voice was soft, barely audible, but filled with genuine gratitude. This had become their silent routine, a small act of kindness from a woman who understood the weight of struggle all too well. Lisa never spoke much to the boy, but every day she felt a connection to him, a silent bond that seemed to grow with each loaf of bread. She wondered about his life, where he slept, and why he was always alone. But she never pried. Her role was simply to give, to be a small light in his otherwise dark world. Though Lisa didn't have much, she gave what she could, always thinking, if I were in his shoes, I'd hope someone would do the same for me. Lisa's acts of kindness did not go unnoticed. One afternoon, as she scanned groceries with her usual efficiency, she noticed a man lingering near her checkout line. He was sharply dressed, a stark contrast to the usual crowd, with a well-fitted suit and an air of quiet authority. His eyes followed Lisa's every movement, but there was no malice in his gaze, only a curious interest. As Lisa finished with her last customer, the man stepped forward. "Excuse me," he began, his voice deep but kind. Lisa looked up, surprised and slightly embarrassed. She brushed a stray hair from her face, unsure of what to say. "Oh, it's nothing, really. He's just a kid who needs a little help." The man nodded thoughtfully. "My name is Robert Clayton. I'm the CEO of the Clayton Foundation. We help people in need, especially kids like that boy." Lisa's eyes widened. She'd heard of the foundation, a respected organization that had helped many families in the community. "I've been looking for someone like you," Robert continued, "someone who gives from the heart, without expecting anything in return. I'd like to offer you a position at the foundation. We need people who truly care." Lisa's breath caught in her throat. The offer felt surreal, like a moment pulled from a dream. She had spent years working tirelessly without any recognition, just doing what felt right. And now, here was this man, offering her a way out, a chance to make a real difference. "I don't know what to say," Lisa stammered, tears welling up in her eyes. "Say yes," Robert said with a warm smile. "We'll make sure you have everything you need, and the boy, if you're willing, we can help you adopt him." The words hit Lisa like a tidal wave. She had thought about the boy often, wondered what his story was, and wished she could do more for him than just provide bread. The idea of becoming his guardian had crossed her mind, but she'd always dismissed it as an impossible dream. Lisa accepted the job with gratitude that words could not fully capture. The days that followed were filled with new beginnings. She transitioned into her role at the foundation seamlessly, her natural empathy making her a perfect fit. With a steady income, she could finally breathe a little easier. And true to his word, Robert and the foundation assisted Lisa through the adoption process. Soon, the boy, now officially named Michael, was not just someone she helped on the street, but her son, a part of her new family. Michael flourished under Lisa's care. The once quiet and shy boy now smiled often, his eyes brighter than before. He thrived in school, something he had never been able to do while living on the streets. Lisa became more than just a guardian. She was the mother he had always longed for, even if he never dared to hope he'd find one. Their home, once filled with solitude, was now alive with laughter, the walls echoing with the sounds of a life reborn. Lisa's selflessness didn't just save Michael, it opened doors to a life she had never imagined for herself. At the foundation, she worked with families, single mothers, and children just like Michael, sharing her story and helping others find their way. Her impact was felt in every corner of the community. Lisa was no longer just the cashier with a warm smile, she was a beacon of hope, proof that even the smallest acts of kindness could lead to monumental change. Through her kindness, Lisa discovered that giving didn't just change the lives of those she helped, it changed her own. What started as a simple loaf of bread had transformed into a journey of generosity, love, and an unbreakable bond between a woman and the boy who became her son. In a world often marked by hardship and struggle, Lisa's story was a reminder that even the smallest acts of kindness could light the way to something greater. It was a lesson in selflessness and the unforeseen rewards of a generous heart. People in the community began to recognize Lisa not just as a foundation worker, but as an example of what it meant to give with no strings attached. She continued her work, each day feeling fulfilled in ways she never thought possible. The cashier job that once defined her now felt like a distant past, a stepping stone to a life she was always meant to live. Lisa and Michael's journey was just beginning, but they walked forward together, bound by the kindness that had brought them together and the future that awaited them. Every evening, as Lisa watched Michael finish his homework or play in the yard, she felt a profound sense of gratitude. Life had been hard, but it had also been kind in ways she never expected. Michael was her reminder of that, a living symbol of the power of giving, and the incredible ways it could shape not just one life, but many. And every day, as the sun set over Oak Ridge, Lisa knew she had found her true purpose: to give, to love, and to keep that cycle of kindness alive for as long as she could.